The Chicago Bulls finally win their very first game as they defeat the Washington Wizards 115-107. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. And here to talk about, like I mentioned, the Bulls. So again, if you are a Bulls fan, stay patient because the Bulls videos are coming quick, fast, and in a hurry as football season winds down. I will be transitioning into doing more Bulls videos. That doesn't mean I'm stopping the football videos. They're still going to continue in the offseason as well. But as the season winds down, you know, we can now shift the focus to the Bulls, okay, and talk about them. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you have the notifications turned on. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms, guys. Reach out down below, links as always. Okay, so let's talk about this victory, folks. It's nice to finally get a dub, be on the right side of a game, and let's talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and kind of my overall thoughts on the Bulls. All right, so let's get into it. So my last video was essentially after the Bulls' very first game in which they lost to the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, so that was the opening night game. They got blown out. They got just absolutely destroyed. And yeah, it wasn't very good. And things got worse because they got blown out once again in the game after that. And then I thought they were going to get their first victory against the Golden State Warriors. That didn't end up happening because Damian Lee hit the game-winning shot and the Warriors stole a victory from us. So now we beat the Washington Wizards. So I was actually pleasantly surprised because the Wizards are a decent team. They're a potential playoff team in the East, folks. I know folks don't want to take them seriously, but they really are. I mean, after you pass the top 6 teams in the East, it's basically a lump of teams, and I'll put the Wizards in that lump, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, that's enough to get you in the playoffs, at least in the East, okay? So for the Bulls to come out and win, this was impressive, all right? So let's take a look at the stat sheet here and what I liked and what I saw. So Zach LaVine obviously leading the team with 23 points. We know that Zach's our leading scorer. He is our go-to guy. But he had a well-rounded stat line, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Kobe White, 18 points. Love seeing that from Kobe. Wendell Carter Jr., 10, 12, and 3. Lauri Markkanen only had 9 and 4, so 9 points and 4 rebounds, but he only played about 19 minutes. He was dealing with a calf contusion, so I guess that's why Billy Donovan didn't want to play him a lot. So I can't take his numbers too seriously because, again, if Lauri plays for his full minutes, he has better numbers than those. So I think the offense is starting to come together. And I've been preaching patience with this Bulls team, folks, because I didn't freak out after that first game. I was not going to freak out after game 1 of 72, right? So it's going to take some time. My timeline was, okay, I just want to see how this team starts looking in the first 5 to 10 games. But even then, I don't know if you can really say, okay, this is the type of team the Bulls are. It will probably take 20, 30 games, maybe even half the season to really definitively know what this Bulls team is. Because remember what I told you, the problem with this Bulls team is going to be, 1, what is your identity? What type of team are you? Are you a defensive team, offensive team, run and gun, up and down, slow, half-court transition, fast break? What type of team are you? And then also, what are all the roles for all the players on the team? So I think that part is getting figured out now. All right, so we know the Bulls struggle on the defensive side, right? So you would automatically assume then that means offensively they're better or they're good at it. And so they are. They've got players that can all score a bunch of points. So we are geared more towards an offensive team, right? But then I would say our clear defined role is Zach LaVine's our go-to scorer. We know that. Kobe's still trying to figure out what he is, right? Score first, point guard, secondary scorer. I think who the secondary scorer on this team is a big question. I don't think it's Wendell Carter Jr. It's either going to be Lauri or it's either going to be Kobe, right? Kobe White or Lauri Markkanen. I think one of those two is going to be the secondary scorer behind Zach. And then in terms of who are, best perimeter players, is it Patrick Williams, the rookie? Is it Otto Porter Jr., who's been fantastic off the bench? All right. And speaking of Otto Porter Jr., figuring out the rotations. I talked to you guys about that as well. We don't know what the rotation is, but now I actually got to see how the rotations look like with a almost healthy Bulls team. Thaddeus Young was available today. He did not play. He is almost certainly going to be in the rotation when he is fully healthy. I think Billy Donovan just took it easy on him today, but he ran about a 10-man rotation today. Okay, so, that is about what I think the rotation is going to be, and Thaddeus Young is going to be part of that. So we didn't see, guys like Adam Okako, guys like that Felicia. We're not going to see him. Like, I wanted those fringe guys cut. I wanted the rotation to be very condensed. So again, the rotation is starting to figure itself out. We didn't see guys like Ryan Arcidiacono, right? We didn't see, obviously I mentioned Felicio, Makako. We didn't see Luke Cornett. We didn't see any of those guys because they are not and should not be part of the rotation, right? The rotation is our 5 starters. And then, you got Otto Porter Jr., you got Daniel Gafford, guys off the bench, and that's about 10 guys after, right? Hutchinson, etc. So that is another piece that's being figured out. So stay patient with this Bulls team, folks. Remember this, okay? Stay patient. But so far, that's kind of what I'm reading into what I'm seeing, right? Again, it's still very early, but offensive team, Zach LaVine go-to scorer, still got to figure out secondary score. I like Otto coming off the bench. Patrick Williams could be our best defensive player, potentially. So things like that are getting figured out. The Bulls schedule early on is pretty brutal, so, wins might be hard to come by. But here's another thing to focus on. Year one, as much as I want to be focused on wins, and I actually, in one of my bold predictions, I said the Bulls will make the playoffs, so wins are very important, but I also understand that it's also about development, player development, right? So I want to develop the guys more so than just win. If we can do both, that'd be fantastic, but if you ask me to pick one, I would rather do player development. So I want the wins. Trust me, Bulls fans. I know you do. I do too. But the Denver Nuggets, a.k.a. Arturas Karnisovas, this former team, was not built in a year. That took multiple years. It is going to take that. The focus this year, I told you guys this, is going to be player development, player roles, establishing their identity, all those things. So I'm going to keep checking in here with the Bulls. Obviously, if there's any breaking news, I'll obviously go ahead and let you guys know. But expect me to come in and do these little check-ins with you guys. Probably not after every single game, but after the notable games, I'll come on here and talk to you guys about it. And if you guys have any specific topics in regards to the Bulls you guys want me to talk about, leave them in the comments below. I'll go ahead and check those out. So really appreciate you guys checking it out. As always, thanks for watching.